Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, MPR. I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
Every time I say that, I just wince at please reply to me, please reply. One day there'll just be silence, and it will shake me. But let's look at Raw, and I'm just gonna start it off with the funnest thing. Bray Wyatt's back.
Yeah, I didn't exactly know what to think of it at first, but I'm like, this is actually a brilliant idea to bring him back with. What is worse, somebody you know is bad, or somebody who's acting as good but is actually bad?
Yeah. There's so many layers that you can go with for this character. And I am just so damn intrigued to see what route they go. And I'm just crossing my fingers that it ain't dropped, because I got a feeling it's pretty hot at the moment.
It definitely threw a lot of people for a loop, that was for sure.
Mm.
And a lot of people can't see the brilliance behind it, because all they see is just, oh, they brought him back as a happy-go-lucky guy. Blah, 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 blah. That's not the case at all.
He literally ended it saying, "Let me in."
Yeah, and there was lots of little nuances along the way that showed that he's not all there.
Just a little. You know, having two gloves and listening to one of them before sawing a picture of his old character in half, yeah. He might be a little crazy.
Just the fact that the gloves actually said things on them.
It's, as you say, it's very nuanced of a character.
It's very, Mr. Rogers meets, Pee Wee Herman meets Waylon Mercy.
Those are all characters of some variety, yes. Yeah, it's on the surface, right? It's creepy child show presenter. Deeper down, I don't know what route they're gonna take. There's plenty of options. I've for hours expelled conspiracy theories at people about this gimmick, and I'm not gonna waste airtime to talk about them. But there's definitely options they can go down with Bray, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week. And that's the whole point of it, right? Is having people sit around and want to know what happens next week, who will tune in to see what happens next week.
I'm more interested in Bray right now than I have been since WrestleMania 33 when he lost the WWE Championship.
To be fair, he hasn't done a whole hell of a lot between those two dates.
He didn't do a whole lot with the WWE Championship either. He held it for 56 days.
This is true. It is interesting. I don't think anybody will refute that. What they are doing with him is interesting right now. Let's talk about the tag team scene on Raw. We said it was getting bulked up by this, the switch up. It's, still got the Viking Raiders, who are still being billed as NXT Tag Champs.
But not coming out with the championships.
I'm just gonna shrug at that. I've got no rebuttal. No, they're not. And then Hawkins and Ryder still exist.
Yeah, they're just keeping those titles warm.
It felt like, or it feels like, that they were an artifact of the weak Raw tag team division, right? And at the time, you know, you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you look at the division now and you're like, they're way outclassed. And I'm not saying that they weren't outclassed before. I'm just saying, there's 10 teams that are above them in the outclassing rankings. And as you say, that means their days are numbered. They're not going to be holding on to those belts all too much longer. I guess who they go to is the biggest question.
But one team we know it's not going to go to will be Aleister Black and Ricochet, because they're no longer a tag team.
I don't know if it's just because we've been doing the show for 5 years, but that was literally the segue I was going to go with. I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh no, segue into this Ricochet and Black thing, and then you take it, I'm like, oh my god. But luckily it's split in the way you want.
Yes.
And so you can be happy in, is it, 9 days or something?
5 days.
5 days. I can't do math.
By the time this airs, it'll be 3.
Yep. I'm figuring it all out. It's next Monday. Or your next Monday. They could still shake it up a bit more, right? They could still change their mind. I won't put that into the universe. I will back off. There's actually a few teams that won't be it. As you say, it won't be Aleister Black and Ricochet. It won't be Chad Gable and Robert Roode.
Although we already knew that one because they were shook up the week before.
Yeah, but you stole my main segue, so I had to take another segue. Bobby Roode's now Robert Roode, and he has a mustache.
Yeah, apparently he found a time machine and grew up. And turned into Rick Roode and Triple H's love child.
It's, yeah. Before you could sort of, like, skirt around and be like, oh, maybe. Now he's literally glorious Robert Roode instead of ravishing Rick Roode. He has the mustache. He has everything else. Pretty much an homage at this point. But we'll see. He beat Ricochet, so he seems to be getting a little bit of something.
Yeah. It's definitely the beginning to the big heel turn everybody has wanted for so long. Just a matter of seeing where they go from here.
Yeah, he just had to dump Gable, and immediately that was a heel turn, so hey, good for him. And another tag team it won't be is The Bar.
Yeah, there's possibility that one of the Bar members may even be forced to retire.
I may sound sarcastic with this next sentence, but I am not being. It's quite sad. Yeah. I quite like Sheamus.
Yeah. I love Cesaro, but as a singles person before The Bar, he had no personality whatsoever. Him being paired with Sheamus brought out his personality.
Yeah. But
now that he's on his own again, we'll have to see if he can retain that without, or was it just him leeching off of Sheamus's personality?
Yeah, the internet would love to dispute me on this, but Sheamus has personality in buckets. Dude can go toe-to-toe with being funny, but then being an absolute monster. And I like the guy. My only disappointment with this is that we haven't been able to get that one last match between the two of them, just to end the story with a nice little bow on it. It sort of just went with, Sheamus is pretty darn hurt. Pull Cesaro to Raw real quick. And, will we ever see Sheamus in a ring again? That's a question that we can't answer right now.
No.
But he's also a guy that I could see pulling any number of roles that is not a physical wrestler off as well. So he has options. But as you say, we'll keep an eye on Cesaro to see what exactly he does. Maybe he just falls himself into another tag team again. It's possible. I think we're done.
No, but he had an amazing match with Cedric Alexander.
There you go. So we're starting off on a positive foot. The right foot or a positive note. I just combined two sayings, and I regret it already. I think...
but we already knew that he was a great in the ring.
This is true. Tag teams. Are we done with tag teams? Is that it for Raw's tag team division?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. Whew. Let's talk about their measly women's division. Becky Lynch exists. And
she's run into a woman she can't bully on Twitter.
Yeah, Lacey Evans. I believe the match is official. Money in the Bank. Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans.
Yep. Be interesting. This definitely see where they go from here. That was not a pretty match that Becky had with Alicia.
To me, talking specifically about Money in the Bank, match order matters here. Because also officially announced for Money in the Bank is Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte.
For me, I don't think it really matters.
You think she'll retain both, lose both? I think
she'll retain both.
Okay. I think if they're going that route, yes, I would be quite happy to see her retain both at least once. Obviously,
That doesn't mean she's walking out with both titles.
Oh, you've got the Money in the Bank. Stop goofing me. Don't make her do 3 matches in one night. That's not fair. You know they will. You've put that in my head now.
Honestly, I think she does walk out with the 2 titles. Because I think they'll keep them on her for at least a couple months, then split them off. And then whatever title she doesn't retain is the show she'll be on going forward.
I'm kind of fingers crossing for Raw just because of the state of their women's division. That's all.
Yeah, they definitely need the help. That's for sure.
And for the women's Money in the Bank match, we should know next week, as Alexa Bliss will be announcing the competitors for, I believe, both the men and women's Money in the Bank matches, or just the women's?
Yeah, which it'll be both. Which makes me disappointed because I was looking forward to maybe seeing some qualifying matches.
No, we never get qualifying matches for anything nowadays.
But I'll get to see the briefcase most likely.
This is true. And presumably they'll bring it out and they'll be like, look at it. And then that'll be all.
Yeah, it'll most likely be hanging above the ring the entire night.
Yeah. And then Alexa Bliss will enter herself in the match and then everybody will be like, oh, we didn't see that coming. What else do we have on Raw? Because we're quickly running out of time as well. The whole main event scene. Okay. AJ Styles, he beat Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. All 3 were SmackDown superstars a couple weeks ago. And then Baron Corbin defeated The Miz and Drew McIntyre, both of which will then advance on to the main event. Let's discuss those 2 triple threats.
They were really good matches.
I feel like when you do something like this, ignoring the champion, this puts your top 6 guys up on a pedestal pretty quickly.
Yeah, it definitely made it notice there's meat to the Raw men's top division. It showed these are all the people that are important right now. These are the people that you need to notice. Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing things with these people.
Yeah. And we'll see how those 6 and other people move forward. But AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin, winner gets that shot against Seth at Money in the Bank. It went
and to the shock of the internet, it was not Baron Corbin.
Oh, but Baron Corbin's great. It could have been him.
Yeah. From what I understand, WWE panicked and made AJ the number 1 contender for Money in the Bank because apparently Money in the Bank's not selling that well from tickets.
Fair enough. I can see how AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins is a quick sell. It seems like on paper, it's a really good match. And I'm sure the 2 of them will absolutely bring it too.
Yeah, I expected them to have it either at SummerSlam or WrestleMania next year. So to have it this early, I'm fine with it. It is what it is. Who knows? That might even open up SummerSlam for The Miz versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Or Ricochet versus Seth Rollins.
No, let's not get crazy here.
Hey, the Iconics
all I want is Ricochet in the Money in the Bank ladder match, because that'll just give us some insane moment.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
I'll let you have that. I think we're out of Raw. Is there anything else on Raw we need to talk about? Because it's about song time.
I can't think of anything.
Good, that means there's nothing. So we're gonna go to the song this week, and Josh, let me play a Travis Banks theme. Problem is, I haven't picked one yet, so I'm just gonna say, up next is a Travis Banks theme, and I'll slip in whichever one I pick. So, enjoy Travis Banks' theme. And you're back to the Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, NPR, Grady, and Josh.
How was that bone?
It was tasty. I don't know, are bones meant to be tasty?
If you're a dog, yes.
Yeah. Not entirely sure. Are they tasty or are they just good to chew on? These are questions that I'll ask a dog next time one starts talking next to me. But the McMahons, they sure hate Roman Reigns.
Yep. That was definitely not where I was expecting him to go with that. But I'm fine with it, and it's definitely an open door for that area. Keeps Roman away from the title, so we don't have to worry about people going nuts about that for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. I think we've got our Money in the Bank match pretty much sewn up for the WWE title anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, the official match for Money in the Bank will be Elias versus Roman Reigns. But both Vince and Shane have positioned themselves in an anti-Roman stance. On screen, of course. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
I'm kind of hoping that we see Elias beat Roman.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be clean. We all know that.
No.
But that would be a huge notch in Elias's belt to do that.
Yeah. As this Raw superstar takes on this Raw superstar on SmackDown, we jump on over to a more confusing match as ex-Raw's Finn Balor takes on ex-SmackDown, ex-Raw Andrade.
Yeah, it was another good match between them. We now have one win to one win, so I think we need a tiebreaker.
Yeah. I could see it. Like, these two, obviously, they're going to put on a great match no matter how many times you put them in the ring next to each other. And Andrade coming back to SmackDown, I'm not like peeved or mad about it all. I see why they did it, and I also think that Andrade would thrive on SmackDown a little bit more than on Raw. So we'll see.
Yeah, it also keeps Vega and Black together, who are married, and it also keeps the apparently newly engaged Charlotte and Andrade together.
Golf claps. Yeah. It makes sense, like, in 100 different ways, so I'm not mad about it.
One thing we do need, seems to need, is we need Dane to shift brands.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can see it. I think there's a couple couples that are split across brands at the moment. I won't be able to name you them off the top of my head because I'm not that fast. Let's talk about the tippy top of the SmackDown men's division. Kofi Kingston. He managed to beat Shinsuke Nakamura, but
then he got a
on
boot to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big O didn't last long.
Nope. It just it just lasted a week longer than we thought.
Pretty much.
The only reason he didn't do it last week was because it was in his hometown. That's the only reason.
So Kevin Owens versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE title, likely to be at Money in the Bank, would be my guess.
Yeah, and it's kind of natural. It's kind of expected. Kofi Mania took KO's moment.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even on the card at WrestleMania as a result.
Strange decision, but yes.
Yeah, so yeah, of course Kevin's going to be jealous of the new champion and wanting to take his title from him.
Yeah, as you say, it entirely makes sense, like, feud-wise. It's not just out of nowhere. And I'm fine with it. I think the two will do great. I'll just shrug. I got nothing more. But I'm still going to stay at the top of the SmackDown men's division here, and I'm going to talk about some Lars Sullivan action. He liked to take people out. He has branched out from his Attitude Era stars to literally anybody in his way.
Yeah, he's a monster. That's basically it. And the guy is pretty athletic too. So I can see why they're so high on him.
Yeah, he comes out. He takes out Chad Gable, Jinder Mahal, the Singh brothers, R-Truth. He having none of it. Welcome back to SmackDown, Jinder and the Singh brothers. Have fun dealing with the Freak. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Lars. It's good to see that he has recovered from his incident. There was some question marks obviously floating around, but I'm interested to see what he does, other than just beat people up.
Yeah. Here in a few weeks, they'll have to start doing some other things. There's only so many times you can see somebody beat people up before you're like, well, what else is there?
Yeah, you got to develop the character a little bit. You don't want him to just be an entirely one-dimensional, I'm just going to beat you up. That's fine.
Unless you're beating up John Cena.
Oh, then it's fine. Hashtag beat up John Cena. I derailed myself with that. The women's tag champs, they're not having a whole lot of luck at the moment.
No, nope. Especially when it has to deal with Kairi Sane and Asuka.
Well, I'm going to tie it into both shows because over on Raw, Billie Kay lost to Naomi, and then over here on SmackDown, Peyton Royce lost to Kairi Sane. They're just not having a good run, full stop.
Yeah, that's kind of to be expected with their characters, though.
Yeah.
The titles aren't on the line, so they don't have to win every match. But when they will be on the line, that's when the slime comes.
Yeah, and I guess my question is, at Money in the Bank, who will they be on the line against? I would like to think Paige's tandem over on SmackDown, but
yeah,
they've been
picking
on Naomi a lot
I don't
too.
really, I don't know. That's the thing. If it's Asuka and Kairi Sane, that gives us almost a second straight short reign. Because I don't see a situation unless they really cheese it. I don't see them walking out with that encounter with the titles.
Really cheese it.
Yeah.
Why are you doing my girls like that? Okay. They can win.
I could see them beating Naomi and a random partner and retaining the titles. And I think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get Naomi and some random person, maybe Natalya. She's still on Raw, right?
There's not a lot of people to pick from.
And
just give her Alicia Fox or someone. There's really nothing else on the Raw Women's division.
I went with Natalya because I didn't want to go with a choice that would be, well, that's racist, because that's what they said when they paired Asuka with Kairi Sane.
You make a point. Let's go Natalya then. But yeah, well, the women's tag division, obviously being on both brands, it's always going to raise questions. And let's see what happens. As you say, though, I think Paige's tandem of Asuka and Sane would win. Do they have a name yet for that lot? I don't think so.
No. Not at this point, it's just Kairi Sane and Asuka.
Fair enough. Anything else on SmackDown? I don't think so. I'm going to confidently say there's nothing else on SmackDown. And probably be wrong. Other than Aleister Black. Let's talk about him for a little minute. He's going to be a big thing on SmackDown, ain't he?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks like he's being framed for quite a big run of some variety. I don't quite know.
Him versus Finn Balor would be a fun match, especially if they bring out the Demon.
Oh no, because then Black has to lose.
He could be the first person on the main roster to beat Demon Finn.
Oh, I like that. Can we book that right now?
Let's do it for SummerSlam. Let's build Aleister Black towards SummerSlam. Keep Finn as the Intercontinental Champion. And then at SummerSlam, Demon Finn versus Aleister Black.
You see, I'm a wrestling fan. I don't have memory or patience. I need it now. Okay? Give me match. I don't know why I insult myself so much. I'm gonna be honest. But I do. So is that everything now on SmackDown? I think it is. I think we're done for the week. Is there any other magical news other than the fact that Johnny Gargano is a WCW Grand Slam champion? Or Triple Crown champion, or whatever it was?
Nothing that's not a spoiler, I suppose.
Yeah, let's not throw out spoilers, okay? Spoiler free, in general.
Next week, I'm going to have a unique perspective on the show.
I'm just gonna let you talk for like 90% of the show. And then maybe we talk about SmackDown a little bit. Maybe. Alright then. So that's all we have time for this week. It's been great talking to you.
Bye-bye.
You visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRadio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRadio. And we'll see you all next week.